the TechMag TV studios. My name is Stephanie Truter, and I'm here with Zimbabwe's very own Jerome Galiao. And tell me if I said that correctly.
Galiao.
Galiao.
Yeah.
So what is that?
It's like vowels, like A-E-I-O-U. So there's no, it's not A-E-I-O-U. So it's like, you say it like you're speaking Shona.
So it's a Shona?
No, it's Galiao, it's Portuguese. Like how you say Ronaldo.
Yeah, okay. I suck with every kind of pronunciation. So.
No, we're getting there. So, high five. I've been high-fiving the whole week, so yeah.
I'm sure your hands even like got
dude, yeah, I'm just surprised. It was couches, I'd pull you guys at Tom Cruise and start jumping and breaking your couches, but I'll behave today.
Okay, please do. I think these are very these are very cheap, so.
Nah, cool, man. Good to be here. Good to be here.
We're glad to have you here. I mean, there's so much buzz going around you right now. You're putting Zimbabwe on the map in terms of, actors and careers and how, from the local industry you've expanded so quickly.
Yeah. It's been amazing. I'm not the only one. I mean, we've got Tongai doing it in Hollywood and Danai Gurira as well. Yeah, I think I just came home and I'm like next door. So yeah, and I think it's been a great journey. It's been amazing. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it's been challenging, but yeah, it's been good.
It's been good otherwise. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, you've been a TV personality since 2001. From the first show you had, .com. So that basically is where everything started.
Dude,
And so just tell us how that's opened up doors for you.
I was, wow, 2001. That's like 21 years. That gives away my age, doesn't it? Yeah, exactly. But 2001, youth.com. I was the first presenter with a girl. I still remember her name, Eska Kusema. She's doing well. She was very smart, and I wasn't as smart. But 2001 did youth.com. Branched off into after.com. I did Supermodel.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I was there, dude. I modeled, and it was the biggest. I'll do before we leave. I'll do a wrap up. Supermodel was the biggest thing, biggest modeling thing, second to like Miss Zimbabwe, but then it just went high. The likes of Michelle Wallace, Hussein Abdul, Lante Bannerman, Great Mo Chachka. Yeah. Then I got into TV. I got into Estate Blues.
Yes. That was your first official
acting gig. It was awesome. That was when I did the first ever. I was the first guy to do a kiss on ZTV. And that time it wasn't. Yeah, that time the TV wasn't like how TV is now. So it was a huge thing, and people went. Some people, you're gonna get 50-50. I kissed Rose, this girl called Rose. She played my love interest. Okay. I played a journalist, and she was a journalist as well. And we met. Obviously, we fell in love and all that. Then so it was amazing. I don't know if she's still acting though. So I haven't.
Google up. She was your first TV kid.
You see now, my first lover on TV. Hey, let me not say it because my fiance might be watching. TV, babe.
We know we're gonna easily.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. So that for you already was a big career move. So, like moving forward, how do you feel like it's maybe molded your acting career?
I think when it came to acting, it was something that I did I was passionate about from childhood. I think I was ready. I was already prepared. Because when it came, it wasn't like something that it didn't come to me as a shock. It's like when you study for something, and you get the excitement of getting the job that you studied for. That's what you're happy about. But you've already molded yourself and you've been prepared. I think preparation was one of the biggest things for me. Like I was mentally prepared, and I was also as an actor. I wanted to act since I was 12. So through high school, after high school, I was in the arts. I mean, I did Supermodel, I did youth.com. So all of it it came naturally. I think it was just innate. It wasn't something that actually I found or fell into. It's something that I was already ready for. So and here I am.
In your blood.
It was there. It was either be an actor or nothing else. Yeah.
Go forward with
yeah.
And it'd be a billionaire or nothing else.
That's it. Yeah, settle for nothing.
Okay. And now, I mean, you're coming into your biggest role ever on Scandal right now. And I'm sure that's a huge deal for you moving forward.
Big deal. Going to SA, it was hectic. And then getting Scandal wasn't just like I just stumbled into Scandal. There was a lot of stuff I did before Scandal. I was in a lot of TV shows. People that remember me would know I played different roles. I played a gangster. I was Umlilo, Zabalaza, Generations for one episode, and then boom, job was done. It was always you get a job, and then it stops. You get a job, you stops. And before I got that job, I worked as a bouncer, and I sold pizza in a restaurant. I was a waiter.
Okay, this is in SA.
This is in SA. When I first got to SA, I got there because when you leave Zimbabwe, you're leaving with the thing that I'm popular on Estate Blues. So I'm an actor. I'm gonna get a job. I was 24 at the time. So I get to SA and then I'm thinking, okay, auditions. I'm gonna get a job just like that. I went for auditions. I even auditioned for Scandal at some point. Way back, I auditioned for Rhythm City. I auditioned for a lot of other series. I just didn't get the jobs. It wasn't easy. I mean, next thing, my first gig was Umlilo, one episode. I thought, okay, fine. After years, like 3-4 years later, got Umlilo, it stopped. Then I started doing adverts. People would know me from a couple of adverts. Then that also stopped. Then I got into Zabalaza and stuff like that, The Queen, and there was always just like 2-3 episodes, 4-5 episodes, and it stops. So in as much as I was getting recognized, I wasn't making the money I wanted to make. I wasn't making the living I wanted to make. So every time I had to find myself going back to waitering, find myself going back to working, and you had to become a waiter. If you want, I had to become a waiter. I had to become a bouncer because you need your days free. So you work shifts so that when your agent calls you and says there's an audition, you can't work a 9 to 5. So life was quite hard. I lived in, if you know SA quite a bit. I lived in Hillbrow.
Oh.
So it was like Hillbrow is like the most dangerous place. But I had to. But I survived years and years pushing it. And after like
you've been there for 14 years.
Yeah,
now.
dude. And why did you just give away my age? I just said how old I was. Oh, come on, man. Look at
It wasn't me, guys. It wasn't me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I came back to Zim last year. And I said, if I go back to SA and I don't make it, I'm sure, I've been chasing this. Maybe it wasn't really the dream. Because you get sometimes you lose hope. But then there's one thing I always said, and I called it this year when I got the gig at Scandal, I was like, it's called the breadcrumb theory for me. If you remember the story of Hansel and Gretel, the breadcrumbs leading to the house of sweets. Yeah, so for me, every time I wanted to give up, a gig came, an advert came. So it made me realize that, okay, somehow I'm on the right path. Because every time I want to give up, I get something in the industry. And yeah, but then the last straw was coming to Zim and saying, if I don't get this, I went back to SA. 2 weeks later, I got this audition. And then my agent says they're looking for an African guy who speaks an African language that is not South African. This is what the role of Dr. Mugari was. And he wasn't Dr. Mugari. They didn't give him a name. They said it's a doctor because they didn't know which country they would get because they said Africa. So you get to the audition and they said they wanted him to come from a rural background. So an African guy who's from the rural background is not colored. He's not mixed race.
Obviously.
So that already was a damper on me. But my agent sent it to me, and then they said, just go. You from Africa and people in Tunisia look, so Egyptians. So I was like, okay, cool, let me go. I got there. They gave me the script. Dude, the script was 2 pages, and you had to translate it in Shona. You had to memorize it in English and then translate it in Shona.
Wow.
Because the audition had to be in your home language and not in English. So can you imagine, how hard it is to translate 2 pages into Shona?
Yeah, I'm never going to attempt that, as you know, I already have issues with pronunciation.
So I got there and then I'll get to the audition and I promise you I was intimidated. I'm talking about actors from Nigeria, actors from Botswana, actors from Zimbabwe, and some South Africans who spoke languages that were not South African. And Zimbabwean actors as well. So you get there and it's like, okay.
There's some big competition.
Yeah, there's already the biggest competition is that I don't look African already. I'm like, okay, sharp. But hey, the Shona is on. The Shona is there. Get into the audition. It was my turn. Did it. Went home. 2 days later, I'm like, I'm disappointed. It's not gonna happen. But then, my person at home, my fiance, then said to me, I have to mention because she was there. So she then says, no, you got that role. I'm like, never. 2 days later, my agent calls me and says, hey, Jerome, you've been shortlisted. So you didn't get the role.
But you're in the running.
You're in the running. But they want to know one thing before they carry on with their choice. I used to have a man bun, a man bun.
Yeah,
so I had the cornrows, and then I had the man bun and my beard. I think if you go to my site, you'll see it. It's there. It was there. Yeah, I had this beard that was up to here, and I had cornrows. So it was like,
you gotta.
am I going to get the role? No, I said if I get the role, tell them I will shave my hair, I'll shave my beard, I'll shave my eyebrows, I'll take off every hair in my body.
And that's just everything gone.
Dude, they phoned me 2 hours later.
Are you serious?
And they said, hello, doctor.
You knew it was.
I threw the phone.
You knew it was.
I threw the phone. I screamed. I was like, well, the relief you get in this weight that just
lifted. Yeah.
And I was like, I got it.
Wow.
And then they said it was only for. They said to me, you're not going to have many calls. Maybe it's going to be on for 3 months or so, and then they will. But look, it's scandal. Just do it for the exposure. I said, I don't care. Let's just do it for the exposure. So also in getting the role, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to nail this role so well. And I wanted to. I'm going to become the doctor that they're going to be so impressed. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but they're going to be impressed. And I shot it. My contract then ended. And then they phoned my agent and said, we want to renew him. We're going to keep him.
People love the doctor.
People love the doctor. And they're taking, So there it was. It was scandal for me.
So do you think it was maybe the shaving of everything that they were like, let's see?
No, but you see at the audition, they had the character they wanted. And the thing was scandal when I sat with the head writer and the casting people. They said to me, we scandal. We always want to give viewers a shock. So when you auditioned, when we saw you, we knew you were going to work for the role. Yeah. Because they're seeing this colored guy. We've given him a Shona name. We said he's Shona speaking. People are going to Google. And he's not going to speak Shona for like a month. So people are going to ask, how can you audition a colored guy who's local? Because people are going to think you're local, you're South African. So it's going to be a shocker the day you speak Shona. And it was the day I spoke Shona. It was a shocker because the day I spoke Shona to my friend, who's a Zimbabwean as well, who they auditioned for to come and be my friend on the show, we had a whole scene.
Of you guys.
So after 2 weeks of just speaking, 2 weeks to a month of just speaking English, it just came boom. I'm in my office and it wasn't like an introduction to Shona. I just was speaking Shona to my friend. Yeah. And everyone was like, we saw Shona on scan. Zimbabwe was like, wow. SA was like, it was a big deal. There was a big deal. And there was that scandal for it. Scandal always wants to shock the viewers and surprise the viewers. And that's the beauty. And that's why Scandal has been on for so long because...
I mean, I remember from years ago, I used to love it.
Yeah, I used to watch Scandal when I was here.
Yeah. I mean, from ETV days.
Yeah.
Stuck with the majority of people.
It did.
I think a lot of your audience is going to be a Zimbabwean community.
I know. But also South Africa is hectic because I don't speak a lot of Shona all the time. But in South Africa, the doctor is very much loved. That's why I wonder why people talk about this whole operation to Dula and xenophobia. Because it's not there. I don't even see it. South Africans... they love it. It's there. I'm saying it's not there. It's there, but not where people who've got the right mindset are. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. What's been going on. Have you had any backlash maybe with this whole xenophobic?
I think no. I haven't. I haven't had it. Everywhere I've gone, I've had support. If people are talking about it on my page, they're laughing about it. They're just joking. So I haven't experienced it, not at all. South Africa has been great to me. I love it. It's become my home away from home.
14 years is a long time.
I've settled in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a little bit more on your role of Dr. Mugari.
Yeah.
I know, people just want to get an idea of who you're going to be portraying. Maybe
let us know. So Dr. Mugari is basically... He's a guy who grew up in the rural areas, raised by his aunts, because he wasn't raised by his parents. So he was raised by a whole community as well. So like in typical story of raised when the village raises the child. So as he grew up, he obviously started studying medicine, and he comes to South Africa wanting to further his studies because he's a gynecologist. And in the rural areas, a lot of people give birth in the huts and give birth in the house and stuff, and it's dangerous. So he's trying to bring back this whole, he wants to build a clinic back home for the rural people because he wants to build the community. So eventually he wants to return. So he's coming for his studies. But what happens is, obviously, when he's in South Africa, he happens to then find a love interest. He meets a woman, and obviously the heart wants what the heart wants. And he falls in love. And when he falls in love, then he gets into this roller coaster relationship because he falls in love with someone who eventually tells him that she's got a boyfriend. And then obviously that breaks him. Yeah, but because he's like such a straight edge guy and he's not the kind of guy that is selfish or anything, he's understanding. And he listens to the story, and then she tells him that she doesn't want to be with this guy, and there's no relationship, is dead. So she eventually breaks up. But then he falls in love with her, and obviously now people can see what's happening. Yeah. The boyfriend she's with is going psycho. So he's going crazy. But the doctor is adamant on wanting this relationship with Hlengiwe, the other character. And she's an amazing actress. So is Amo Kagiso Ratebe. He's an amazing actress. Hlengiwe is a heavyweight. Can you imagine when I got to Scandal, I was just going to be the doctor in my head. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll play the doctor. I'll be a doctor on Scandal. I'll have my little clinic going on and everything. And they told me no. When I saw the script, they said you could have a love interest. When they showed me the love interest was Ngobile Nunu, that's her real name. I was like, what the heck? Because not only she's an amazing actress, like she's done a lot. She's a heavyweight in acting. So being on set with someone I hadn't done so much, So it's like getting there and you just, from no one that knows you, this new actor on Scandal that even South Africa didn't know me from my previous stuff. So who's this guy? But they knew her and everyone knows her. And you got to be in love with this person. I was intimidated by her. But she's such an amazing human being. She calmed me down. She used to speak to me. I was asking her questions like, feel free, talk to me, or whatever. So she coached me a lot. Amo as well, Kakiso. He's just, him and I just, we so cool. And and he plays his role very well. I found my very good friends, and they've made me feel comfortable. And the whole set as a whole have welcomed me. I've just naturally become Dr. Mugari. Even at work now, it's just doctor. Yeah. So the whole set has welcomed me well, and I've eased in. I felt that in the beginning because I was very shy, I was anxious. Kind of like, do these people like me? Do they not? But you ease in and everyone is cool.
Became a family.
We all, that place is a family. I love it. I love them.
That's great. I mean, I've seen you evolve like right in front of the TV screen. Everyone can probably see that you're just getting to the next level as you go.
Yeah.
So another question I did want to ask, that's personally for me. Which one was your favorite role? Out of, let's just say, the roles that you have played on the South African soaps, which one do you think was your favorite?
I'll be very honest, there's no answer to that. Currently, I'm doing Dr. Mugari, and Dr. Mugari is what I'm focused on. He's an amazing person. When I did my other roles, those are roles I can't pinpoint because I did the best of who I was on every role. So to compare them would be an injustice. I wouldn't be able because there's no role that I could say I did better at. But right now, my focus right now, who I am right now is focusing on this role as the doctor, and doing what he does. But I loved every single role I played. Even when I went for one day and for one shoot, I made sure when I went there, I played that part and I played it well. So exactly. So I loved every role was the best for me because I was the best of who I was. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So now I'm gonna get a little bit more personal. I wanna give the viewers, what they
I'm
want.
a public figure. There's nothing personal about me.
Okay. No problem.
So let's get public about it.
Let's get public.
About my personal life.
Let's a bit of spice.
Yeah.
All right. So, from my understanding, you were born and bred in Abeni.
At Mbare.
Yes.
Right there. Yeah, ndakatobogara kumaflats futi kumatapi.
Sure.
Yeah, unoona saka ndigone shona mazoenzi wandotaura nditi mashuka doctor ataure shona pamafuma zvanga zviri ndagarira umbare kuna 4th ndabogara kumaflats futi, but I was very young, man. Ndikazogara kwa Benny there, right? Ndikada pa Benny primary also.
Wow.
So yeah, right there.
I mean, I'm from the woods.
Yeah.
Shout out. So I mean.
Yeah, also I live there. Kumakeda. Yeah, but I was more for a little Shona boy there growing up in that Benny, because I never lived by I got on my plots. So at the plots there, you know, and I also lived in Nora by the farms. So my Shona is deep. I even think kuti ndotogona kutemba mtupo kana 3.
Yeah. Clearly, I
You see. Don't play.
I'm at the gym.
Don't play. Yeah.
Just let me know how much the
Yeah. I think if I wasn't going to be an actor, I'd be a windy, bruh. Well, no tories.
All right. Now I know that obviously your background plays a huge role into who you are, who you've become as an actor. And I mean, you're a PE boy.
Oh, of course, Tiger for life.
I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. The first guy that broke my heart was from Prince Edward.
Oh wow! So
he knows who he is. He knows who he is. So I have
another part of that. I went to Prince Edward for my education, not to learn how to break hearts.
PE boys, I'm just gonna put it out there. But you know, I mean, obviously your love life is far from your.
I've broken a couple of hearts.
Yes. Okay, obviously, yes. Now I can see that you are.
Yeah.
So maybe tell us more about that and.
No. She'll kill me. When I left home, she said to me, "You better if I hear you calling me your girlfriend." She's South African. She says I'll dudula you back to Zimbabwe. I'll xenophobia back to Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about her. What's her name? You know?
Yeah, her name is Nerissa. I've got 4 kids. Yeah, so she's got 4 kids.
Basically, you guys are a big family.
Yeah, no, we don't have 8 kids. We have 4 kids. But she's an amazing. Yeah, she's an amazing human being. She's my personal trainer as well. She's a personal trainer. She's a bodybuilder and an MMA fighter.
Wow.
So I can't.
Really well.
We can't have an argument. I don't think she's right. Everything, even when I'm wrong, she's right. That's it. We are done. Yeah, because and she's my personal trainer. Yeah, and she cooks my food, so I must watch out. She's right.
Everything in one, eh?
Yeah, she can poison me. She can do whatever. Yeah. So yeah, I'm always gonna just be good.
Yeah, if anything happens, we know which one.
Yeah,
we know.
You know what I mean.
All right, no, that's great. So I mean, you mentioned now you guys engaged.
Yeah. We engaged. Wow. This is amazing.
Yeah, wedding bells are definitely in the.
I'm under pressure, eh?
Yeah, I mean, and it's gonna be bringing the South African side and the Zimbabwean side.
You see.
Are you gonna have the wedding in ZIM, or are you gonna?
Hey!
We want to know. The viewers want to know. Where's the wedding happening?
Who wants to sponsor my wedding in ZIM? We'll come.
We'll come with Fanta. We'll come with Sadza. As long as we're on the invite.
Yeah, you are from Arcadia.
We got you. Don't worry.
Yeah, man.
Don't come with that auntie that steals the biscuits in the.
Oh my word! Just put in the lunchbox. Once I leave it by the gate.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, look, like I said, my life has been a life of up and down, you know. I was, at some point, there was downers in my life. Things didn't go well for me. There was a time when I even got so depressed. It was drugs, alcohol, parties. Because when you get onto TV, and it wasn't scandal, it was the first days. And I think also the reason why I also wasn't getting many jobs is every time I got a job and got paid, my mindset was like, dude, I'm going to be popular always. And when you hang around the wrong crowd, you get involved in a lot of things. I got involved in, I'm not perfect, and when people see me, they think, he's always been like, I was maybe half my size even. I was like this, because I was doing, if you ask me, people would ask me, so what drugs did you take? I can't even say them what drugs did I take. But I took so many drugs, I can give you a list of the drugs I haven't yet had. Because the ones I haven't yet had are so few. And I got into addiction. I lost my relationships. So I was saying I got my kids. So my first three, I lost those relationships because of my own behavior. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for the, like I said, I broke a couple of hearts as well. It wasn't easy for their moms, and they chose the safety of the kids over all that. Look, I had to go through a lot of therapy. I'm a changed person now. I'm a great dad to my kids. I'm active in their lives. I now participate. I support. But life is not perfect, and when people see you and they see you walking on the street and they think, oh, he's now amazing, he's on Scandal. Yo, this guy, look how good he looks and everything. It's never been easy, guys. It's been the most difficult stages, but it was choices. And I chose to come out of the rut. You know what? I always believe when you fall, there's no one else is responsible for picking you up besides yourself. You can't blame anyone else and say you guys never loved me or I wasn't raised well or no one has supported me. It's a point where I got in my life where and I was so down and out, I was living in a shack. And my child never knew, but they left me in an apartment. And when she came to the house, this is in South Africa, and so I took her to my house. And the house I was living in, the main house, a mansion, a double story. And there was like a shack at the side. And this woman said, no, you can't be living on the street, come. And then she put me in this Kawendi house. And it was like a small Kawendi house. So when my daughter had come now to visit me, and that time I was going through recovery. But when you're going through recovery, your life doesn't just change immediately. Yes. You said, so they took me in because they saw I wanted to. So I brought my daughter, and but when you're enjoying recovering, it's not overnight. Because even though I was recovering, there was times where I'd go back to it. Yeah, because you get depressed and you go back. So the time I brought my daughter to visit me, the turning point where I realized this needs to stop was that I opened the electric gate and my daughter ran into our front doors open for the mansion. Makes me want to cry. Yeah. So my daughter, she ran into that main house, yeah. And when she ran into the main house, I could call her out because it wasn't our house. And then I called her and said, come, no, this is not the house. And I'm tore up aside of the house and I said, this is where we are. You know that when she walked into there, she was laughing. Because she thought I was joking. And we sat in there the whole day. She said, Daddy's joking. I just realized Guti, we're not joking when I said it's time to sleep. And the look in my child's eyes and how she remembered how I used to be before this whole relapse. I didn't sleep that night. I just slept looking at my child and I was like, you know what? This needs to stop. This needs to stop. And then what happened is I went to go look for a job and I did security and stuff. You take anything when you want it to stop. And at that time, then the acting wasn't happening. Then lockdown via ITIC and there was no more work. And I struggled during lockdown. And that's the one time I went, you get depressed and then you want to go back to the abuse of alcohol, to the abuse of drugs and stuff. And I said, no, I'm not going to do this here. I'm going to work out. I was thin. I was like 60 kgs or something, 65, 69. And I said, I'm going to stop. I started gymming during lockdown. Started training. I had dreadlocks, I think. I took them out. I changed my look. Started eating properly. Started just training. I was like, after this lockdown, I'm going to be hundreds. I didn't think the lockdown would be 2 years. So I trained for 2 years. and here I am, and when I started training and getting disciplined, the training taught me discipline because I became consistent. The training taught me how to be consistent at something. And I kept that consistency. And when I kept the consistency, I got into meditation. And I used to meditate a lot every day. And the meditation helped me control my mind to be able to say no to people who would offer me drugs, because it's hard.
Especially in the industry.
Exactly. So I stopped. I could now control it. I could now say no, and then boom. Life changed. I met my fiance. I didn't have a home. She invited me. She used to train me actually when I started training. And then she realized, she says, no, so during it was lockdown. So by lockdown, you weren't allowed to go anywhere. So the only person I used to see was her. So I think also the lockdown also helped me with her because the only person she saw every day was so I think our attraction for each other just started growing and growing until it became love. And then I ended up moving in with her, and she looked after me throughout the lockdown. She supported me. She fed me, she bought me clothes, she did all that. And she said, I believe in you, you know, that's the only thing I wanted. And
that's amazing.
But you have to believe in yourself. I believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself enough to go out there and do that. I can't win the auditions for you. I can't win the jobs for you. It's you. But she gave me that confidence. And when I went there, that mindset. And yeah. And when I came to ZIM, I wanted to give up again. Because you never not always wanted to give up. Even though she believed in me, that I got stressed. I wanted to give up. So I'm saying, guys, you know what? There's always times when you're going to give up. Even with me now, when I got here, I told you I'm tired. I messaged my girlfriend and said, there's so many interviews happening. There's so much happening. I'm so frustrated. She's like, she tells me, if you feel like crying, cry. Because it's not easy. Because even when you're successful, it's not easy. You got things you need to maintain. You want to give up even more because now you got to maintain that success. It's worse. So it's not easy. So I mean, anyone who's getting this into entertainment, into any career, it's never going to be easy. Don't think when you become a doctor, I've made it. Yeah. When you become a billionaire, you've made it. There's things you have to maintain. And yeah. A lot of people are committing suicide. I mean, rest in peace, Ricky Rick. Yeah. Rest in peace, Double HP. You know, we celebrities committing suicide. Rich people, wow, how did he get so much money? But it's not easy, guys. Yeah.
Pressure from society, you have, as you say,
home, people, family. Yeah, so you got to just be able to love yourself. I always learned that if you love yourself first before you love anyone, self-love is very important because loving everyone, you give so much love and then you got nothing left. So sometimes you got to be selfishly love yourself and not always just be available. You got to have time for you. Because if you don't have time for you, you're going to drain yourself eventually and you're going to exhaust yourself and the next thing you don't want anymore. Because everyone sees you as an icon. Everyone sees you as, and how do you see yourself? You get home and you're just depressed because you know. So exactly. And then you self-destruct. So yeah, that's been me.
I think there's a lot of your audience, obviously they're going to watch this today, that probably can relate to your story and you know, where you're coming from, especially people from our community that feel as though there's no hope and they are resorting to drugs and alcohol abuse.
And so much you're saying it. I got someone message me and said, you know, thank you so much, Jerome, for representing us. We've always been seen as outcasts. And that got to me. It actually, instead of it making me feel like proud, it upset me. Because as a community, I'll say colored people, but for lack of a better choice, I'm not trying to be racist about it or separate. The fact that you say people saw us as outcasts, people see you as anything. I can see you as an evil person. Who do you say you are? You can't. The moment you start saying people see us as outcasts, it means you've accepted the fact that you're an outcast. I don't see myself as a colored person who's an outcast. That's my success. You don't see yourself as a colored person there's no such thing as race. The reason why people see us out is because you've allowed them to stereotype you. We all human beings, we all have equal opportunities. A lot of black people live in the ghetto. A lot of black colored people live in the ghetto, but a lot of us also live good lives. But when you see yourself as separated, that's where you're an outcast. There's no such thing. Who you see yourself, who do you see yourself as? Exactly. Exactly. I'm not who you say I am. I'm not who you think I am. So it kind of like got to me. I wanted to say thank you, but also I couldn't say thank you to her because it didn't resonate with me. Because if I said thank you, it means I accepted the fact that I'm a successful outcast. You know what I mean? How does that make sense? Yeah, exactly.
Actually, it's quite true. But I know that the people from our community that may also feel that way are going to really resonate with what you said.
And I hope it helps.
Yeah, I really do hope they take it to heart. And, you know, because there's just so many opportunities out there for Zimbabweans, you know, as a whole.
We are such a talented nation.
Even within our, our industry, there are also many opportunities. So.
And we just need people to support it. And what I'll actually say also is the difference between South Africa and Zimbabwe is that South Africa in the arts industry has so much support. The artistic industry and brands need to get on it. Zimbabwe has so much artistic power in the arts industry. I mean, look at back in the day when we made the Yellow Card, when we made Neria, when we made movies, comedies, you know. But we're looking for people, but people just don't want to get on that support. There are guys, South Africa has schools You know, people go to learn as colleges. People go for them. They go international. So I just wish that a lot of brands, and I'm speaking to brands who are watching right now, support this year. This is talent, and you know when a brand supports, they shouldn't say we're giving you exposure. Come here, come. We're doing it. Artists need to be paid.
Yeah, they need to eat.
We can't put your brand on and you say to us, we'll give you a T-shirt or we'll give you a pot or a stove. We need money. This costs money. You know, we can't wait for YouTube to wait for you guys to have views. And so they can pay you. Yeah. If I'm going to put your brand on my YouTube, don't say, we'll provide transport or whatever. What is it going to do? I don't eat transport. You know what I mean? I'm an artist. People need to see who I am. So I'm speaking to brands. Support your people. Support Zimbabwe. Yeah. Zimbabwe's got such a wealth of talent. My dream is to come back home and buy 15 hectares of land and create studios and train people who will go out there. I tell you at Scandal, the head of the set is a Zimbabwean. The assistant director at Scandal on one of the sets is Zimbabwean. But the talent is leaving. And then if the talent leaves, where's the arts in the country? Where's the arts industry? Now you got any Tom, Dick and Harry just wanting to just hold a camera and say, I'm going to film. It doesn't work that way. Because arts it takes talent. It takes people go to school to learn this. You know, the way anyone else would go to school to be an accountant. People go to school. No one just picks up a camera. People don't respect the arts industry, and that's the problem.
So no, I do agree fully with what you were saying about the lack of support in the Zimbabwean entertainment industry. And personally, I have hosted a few shows, and I have seen there is that lack of respect, just also in general, for the entertainers in the country. I mean, you get shows where international acts are getting paid more than local acts, when the actual truth of it is the local acts are attracting more of the crowd, because people from Bare know Nati Omo, people from
your majority will support you.
You see, they know their local people, so it really is an underappreciated thing. And then the international people are getting more recognition, getting more payments,
and they do half the job, because they get flown in, they get clothes, they get put in hotels, and then the local artists get told, find your way. You know what I mean? And then you get your small money and you go. But also the problem also lies, and to be quite honest, the problem also lies with the artists. The problem also lies with the producers, the directors, the cameramen, the sound guys. They now start bidding and fighting for less. Oh, okay. We're going to get Japreza for 7,000. We're going to get Japreza for 7,000. Nati will come and say, okay, I'll do it for $2,000 or something. The big artists, they don't do that. The big artists in Zim are strong about it, and every artist needs to do that. They need to say, guys, let's come together. Let's create an artist forum whereby if we're going to be booked for a show, we will do. No artist will do a gig for less than a certain amount. And if you do it, we will shut it down. We will sue and then get lawyers involved. And find out how much a person was actually paid. And don't do shows. Don't produce stuff. Don't release stuff unless you're given what you're worth. Because once you know your worth, brands start respecting you. If a brand comes and says we're going to give you $500, I'm like, no, thank you for the $500. It sounds nice because I need it. But I'm not worth this. This is my job. This is my well-being, and this is why. And then they will respect you. The reason why Mikkels will look better than a certain hotel, I won't mention other hotels, is because Mikkels has a standard. They don't care even if there's only 3 rooms booked, they're never going to lower their price.
And say, okay, I just have 2,000.
They see, but then as an artist, we want to, and then that's what we do in SA. We don't work for less than a certain amount. And that's why as an artist, an actor in SA, you can buy a house. You can buy a car. You can send your kids to a private school. As well as a cameraman in SA, you can own a house as well. You can buy a car, because when there's no one who's not earning enough to make a living. You see,
it's something we really have to look at, you know, as a country that's trying to build the entertainment industry.
Exactly.
It's like
entertainment industry in Zim is huge, man. It's huge.
Huge potential that is ready to be.
I'm in SA because I'm working there and it's sustainable. If Zim to come with an offer and say to me, listen, it's now sustainable here. There's not one of us that doesn't want to come home, but it's not sustainable. So.
I mean, one of the things I want to ask you was, like, if you see yourself getting any local roles, if you are presented with that, would you take that?
Like I said, if your offer is good enough,
my answer is,
if your offer is good enough, I will come back and I'll do it. If you are, because it's about my well-being as well. I will. It's because you will fall. Yeah, you exactly.
Yeah.
And also, film people need to also respect each other. Because people in the film industry also don't respect each other as well. Oh, I'm the director, it's my show. I will earn more than you, you will earn less. Or you shoot a whole movie and then he gets paid, he doesn't pay you, now you're chasing your money. We need to get out of that system. Yeah, we need to do it.
Pray for the future of our industry.
Yeah.
Something really does.
It will. Don't worry, when I come back, I'll crack the whip.
I'm waiting for it. I mean, I might even be having an acting.
You see. Yeah, man.
Alright.
Yeah.
So there's also something I wanted to tap into.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
That you do not have TVs in your house, so you do not allow TVs in your home. So maybe you can tell us more about that.
So it's a thing that we just have at the house. Like, we do have laptops and phones and stuff, but we don't believe in just having TVs always on, because our kids are exposed to a lot through television. A lot of the stuff that plays on TV influences children, and I've got kids in the house. So my kids usually, when it's time to watch a show, my 12-year-old does not watch anything above 12 years when she comes to visit me. My 7-year-old doesn't watch anything my 12-year-old watches. Why I've done that is because we have a culture. The reason why there's a certain age restriction on PG-13, parental guidance, so you got to watch with your 13-year-olds. There's a reason why there's AA, all ages. There's a reason why there's no under 16. Kids need to enjoy being kids, and they need to graduate into levels of childhood. You see, you tend, if you have a child, you watch a child that watches TV until 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Think about the programs that play that time, and think about the child's mindset during that day, how they think, how they behave. They don't want to. You have 12-year-olds who will tell another 12-year-old you are being childish. What you're doing is immature. What do you mean you are being childish? He's a child. And then you have 12-year-olds. Why do you think you will find in some countries? Well, I heard a story the other time of my friend was doing some work in Epworth, and some of my friends in South Africa, 8 years old, 12 years old, 14 years old, becoming prostitutes. It's not because of environment. Sometimes it's environment that influences, but a lot of the time it's what you expose them to. If you have an 8-year-old watching a under 16 movie, when she sees two people kissing, watching Twilight, people falling in love and whatever, the dream of that 8-year-old is to fall. Why is an 8-year-old dreaming about falling in love and getting married? They should be playing in mud. Getting dirty. Exactly, my dagger, my wombwe. Understand? So I also think when they get to 16, they need to graduate to 16. My child will have a driver's license. They watch Fast and Furious at 8, 9 years old. Manoba Mota did because they want to do Fast and Furious. They prime your car. But they don't understand that you must achieve your license. You must achieve being 18. At 18 years old, you graduated from high school. You're not even yet drinking alcohol and all that stuff. So it's a culture that I've instilled in my children. They get screen time. Their laptops, their iPads are also blocked. My children get to, but it's my policy. I'm not ill-treating them when it's my policy. iPads are on during school time until 7:30, and they automatically shut down. In the morning, they switch on at 7. During school time, during holidays and weekends, it's 8:30. But they watch. My daughters will tell you, if we try to download anything that's above our age, it goes to my dad's phone and it beeps. And I block it. I switch off from where I am. It remotely switches off because I want people to understand that children must be children. What is your child doing watching The Queen? At 8 years old, your child knows what Shaka did. He blew up this person. He did. Wow, this is how your child wants to start being like that person. And then you have people telling him, "Hey, what is your child doing watching Black Door?" You know, it's not okay. So we don't have the TV because we know so many not at home. They will switch it on. They have access to it. I don't have a TV, man, and also I don't have a TV because watching too much TV also just kind of like your brain gets fried. Too much TV means you're wasting time when you could have been doing something else. You understand? If someone's watching TV right now, he's not here doing what you're doing. He's not behind the scene, not behind the camera. They're not working. They're not trying to develop. That's true. They're just trying to watch binge omnibus, you know. People who actually are developed, watch them. Look at people who are really, really doing well in life. Even if they do watch TV, they don't watch it for more than 2 hours. Some don't even watch TV at all.
I mean, you are telling me that you just also stream. You don't really watch yourself.
I stream,
and just.
I'll fast forward, and that's what I do because if you're watching TV, you're not making money. Someone else is making money.
Definitely something.
You know, it's good. Watch it, you know, because you got your shows that you wanted to entertain you. You got the weekend where you are off, you want to relax and kick back. That's fine. Have your TV in your house. Do it. I've got my Netflix on my phone. I'll do it now and then. But I just don't have it because I just don't feel it's necessary. I got other things I need to buy, like the microwave, a new fridge.
We need a fridge.
Change my oil filter.
Yeah. It's more important to worry about.
Yeah, I personally think so. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, as a parent myself, I think there's also a few things I'm going to take away from that, because we know them kids be glued to the screen.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just think to yourself, I just want to keep them out of trouble, or, you know, and you just plumb them in front of the screen and they become, you know. I've seen a
4-year-old who knows how to unlock their mom's phone, go through the apps, go to an app, switch it on and watch. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's some wooden toys, here's some madaga, go play outside and push toys. Because you find a child is sitting there and he's so clean and smart and dressed up, and then they say, oh, he looks so mature, he looks like an old man. Why are you saying that?
I mean, if you look back to how we used to play as kids, I used to make those little clay pots with the ants nest behind my
and get smacked for eating the mud because you feed your little brother.
I thought maybe it's fun for playing with Barbie.
And when we grew up, we were so immune to diseases. Now children are full up in hospital.
Yeah.
And you expose yourself to the environment. Your immune system gets better. And when you keep your child in the house watching TV, doing all these things that are just keeping them away from this is why a lot of the children of the generation are always getting ill, always getting the flu, always getting. We played the whole day in the I don't even remember going to a clinic. But the only time I ever went to a hospital when I broke my hand when I was climbing the mango tree.
Yeah, of course.
But I never really got sick.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, just looking back at everything and now your roles that are moving further, is there anything else you can tell us that might be in store for you, like that we can watch out for as your fans?
Just keep watching this space. I think now is like, when it's your time, it's your time. And when it's your season, it's your season. And I think now there's going to be a lot going on. And I'm always going to be feeding it back home. ZIM is my home. ZIM is my first love. I appreciate everywhere else I go and the opportunities I get, but I'm very grateful. And ZIM I love the people, I love my country, and I want to bring things back. Yeah, ZIM is beautiful, and I want to come back at some point. But right now I've got to work.
So right now South Africa is home, but we definitely going to be watching the space and waiting for the wedding. Which will hopefully be in Harare.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully, yeah. Or we just have to have 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect, No,
it's not for you. Easy for you. I got to pay for it. So.
I told you we'll bring the sons up one.
Okay, yeah, you see now. That's cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, it has been great. It's been great having you in studio, Jerome. Thank you so much for coming through.
It's been a pleasure.
So, for the fans out there, keep following him, guys, and we'll see what's the next step for his career. This has been TechMag TV, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.